of Great Britain, Queen Elizabeth II has left this world at the age of 96 years. She has ruled 70 years in not only UK but in 15 Commonwealth nations, including the countries of Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. If anyone has reigned the longest in British history, it is Queen Elizabeth II. While her death will be mourned around the world, there are also some very important changes will begin to apply immediately after Queen's passing. Viewers, if the Queen died in London, the name of this operation would be the Operation London Bridge, but the Queen died in Scotland, the name of this operation is Operation Unicorn, in which all the events that will happen were already decided. In these events, the first thing is to shift the body of Queen to London. Now, because Queen Elizabeth is no longer the Queen, then in the next second her son Prince Charles has automatically become the King of Britain. By the way, Buckingham Palace has a lot of staff, but most of staff will be sent on leave after passing of Queen. Flags will be hoisted in the half-mast, means in the center of the pole. The churches will ring the bell for 2 days, and the day of Queen's funeral there will be a public holiday in which all businesses, banks or shops will be closed. All social gathering of the palace will be cancelled and officials will wear separate dress code for next several days. Of course, after Queen's death, Prince Charles has become king, but as soon as most of the staff leave Buckingham Palace, the Council of Accession meeting will be held in St. James Palace, where Prince Charles will be officially declared a prince and he will be taken the oath. Prince Charles will also have an option to change his name after becoming king. This is also a kind of rule that is applied to the royal family of Britain. The new king can add his name to his surname. Now, the full name of Prince Charles is Charles Philip Arthur George, so he can have his new name as the King Philip, King Arthur, and King George. Prince Charles has waited for this chair all his life. He said this in 2012 in an interview given to The Telegraph, but his age is still only 72 years. If something happens to him, then his son, Prince William of Great Britain, will become the new king. When Prince Charles will officially become king, his wife, Princess Camilla, will not be called queen, she will be called princess because she herself wants it. After preparing the shroud of Queen Elizabeth, it will be placed in front of the public in the Westminster Hall so that people can pay respect to it. After the passing of Queen and 10 days before the funeral, mourning will be celebrated. This means that if the Queen died on 8 September, her funeral will be held on 17 September 2022. During this period, the public will be allowed to view the Queen's shroud for 1 hour each day. When Princess Diana passed away, an estimated 1 million bouquets were placed outside the Buckingham Palace. People stood in lines for 10 hours and waited for their turn. On the day of funeral at 9 o'clock in the morning, the Big Ben bell will be rung once and then a leather cover will be put on the hammer so that it keeps the voice flow out of the day. On that day, world leaders will be there to attend this funeral. On the 10th day after funeral, Queen Elizabeth II will be buried in the King George VI Memorial Chapel. On that day, the London Stock Exchange will also be closed, due to which the whole Britain will lose a lot of money. In 2011, the wedding day of Prince William and Catherine Middleton was also a national holiday, in which Britain suffered a loss of about £6 billion, which means that Britain will have to bear such a loss on the day of Queen's funeral. After the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, there will be many changes in UK and Commonwealth countries, in which the image of Queen printed on the British currency will also be changed. All currency cannot be changed overnight, but new notes will be start printing from the next day. The national anthem of Great Britain, which has God Save the Queen, will also be changed to God Save the King. From the next day, the police helmets of entire United Kingdom will also be changed because the Queen initials are printed on helmets. They will now be replaced with the initials of Prince Charles. The British passport, which has currently the crown of Queen printed on it, will also be changed with the crown of Prince Charles. And finally, the mailboxes, which are not used so much in today's time, but Queen Elizabeth II is imposed on it. All these mailboxes will be changed. All these changes that you know now will not take as much time after Queen's departure because most of the preparations were already planned while Queen was alive. I hope you will like and share this factual video. Thank you very much for your loving comments. Until then, Allah Hafiz for another wonderful video.